this is Tammy with Tammy Creations, and today I thought I would show you how to do some pour painting. And to begin, I have a canvas panel here, and I've put blue tape along the back just so if it drips it doesn't really mess up the back too much. I got these little flower pots at Michael's today, and I thought these would be stable enough to hold this up. So when I'm pouring and it drips over the edges, it will likely get on these, but at least they keep this stable and it's not on the table flat. The products that I have used to prepare, I used this Canvas Prep medium. This is actually from David Jansen with his art painting flowers. He has a channel, but you can also just use white gesso to cover the canvas and then let it dry. And then I created a mixture of Floetrol, Floetrol, and you can get this at Lowe's or I got mine at Jerry's Artorama online. And then I also have this GAC 800, which helps to make the paint glossy. And so what I did was I used some pantyhose because I don't have a strainer that I can use that's not for it using in the kitchen. So I just put some pantyhose over the Floetrol and poured it into my container here. And that gets all the lumps out. So when you get this, you have to shake it up pretty well. And sometimes there are little lumps in it and you don't want those in your painting. I just did one last night, and unfortunately it's got some bumps in it. So it turned out really pretty, but there are some bumpy spots on there, and I wouldn't be able to sell this. But you know, I might be able to do something with it, put some other kind of texture on there so that that doesn't look so unusual or wrong. So I used Floetrol, and then I put in just a little bit of the GAC 800. So probably 6 times Floetrol and 2 parts of the GAC. So it's not, I didn't measure it like real exact, but it's mostly the Floetrol. And then I have these little silicone cups that I got. I'll put a link. I think I got these on Amazon. And these little stir sticks that are plastic and can be reused. So I have black, and the way I mixed this was with this black paint. This is just regular Liquitex Basics black acrylic paint. So it's not high flow or anything. So I had to mix it with the Floetrol, with this this stuff that I created. And then I also have some golden paints that are already high flow acrylics, so they don't need to be mixed in with this. I can just pour them on the way they are. But I did mix up, I thought it would be fun to do some fall colors. So I didn't have orange, but I combined red and yellow to make orange. And my red actually looks a little more pink than red, but I guess that'll be okay. But I thought I would put a black background down first. So I'm gonna put the black down, and then I will put these other colors in little petals. And then I've also got some silver that I thought would be pretty, kind of over the top. So I've got this also, this is green gold, and it is a high flow acrylic. so I won't need to mix it with that either. I also have a torch here, which I'm kind of afraid to use. And my husband showed me how to use it, but he's not home and I don't want to do it when he's not here. So hopefully I won't have any air bubbles, because that's what this is for, to blow out air bubbles. And then I've also got a hair dryer, and the hair dryer is what we use to move the paint around. So I'm just going to move some of these things out of the way. Just put these down here. I've got a big tarp on the floor, and plastic and a puppy pad on my table here. This is just about dry. I think it's dry enough that we can start. So I'm going to begin by pouring the black over my my whole canvas, and it's very pretty glittery black. Hopefully it is enough. It looks like it may not be. Let me get some more out of there. And let me just move that to the edges. It might be enough. We'll see. I do see some air bubbles, unfortunately. So let's see how much I can get covered. I think I'm maybe going to have to mix up a bit more. So all I need to do for that is to pour some more of this black in here, and some of my mixture of Floetrol and GAC 800. And I put in about 3 times the amount of the mixture to 1 time of the paint. So 1 part paint and 3 parts of that. Okay, and then I make sure that it flows nicely, and it does. So I don't think I need to add any water. You know what? I think maybe I grabbed, no, that was black. It just looks gray for some reason. So let me spread that around to these other edges. Oh no, that looks really gray to me. But it's all an experiment, so we shall see what happens. And I see some little bubbles here and there, which I might be able to get out. All right, let me just make sure the sides are covered. And it's kind of like being a kid, you know, finger painting. Just using my fingers to do that. Okay, that around the edge. All right. So it will flow over the edge anyway as we go. So I'm just gonna let some of this excess slide off here, just to level it out. Okay, and just gonna try to get some of these bubbles off of there. Without torching it. All right, let me get my rag. I did buy some paper towels for this, but I don't have them with me. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to begin pouring. So I think I will start with I'm going to start with some red here. And then I'll put some yellow in that. Put some yellow here. And a little orange. A little orange and yellow. Then a little red on that one. And then I'm going to get my green. And I'm just going to put a little green around and some silver. And then some white, which I did mix up. A little bit of white. And I put some silicone in the white so that maybe it will make some of the pretty cells. Okay. So now we get to play with our hairdryer. All right, here we go. Let me just put a little black on top too, maybe. Which actually looks like gray, but okay, here we go. I'm just putting It looks so pretty. I went ahead and added some more colors there because it was kind of just one blob. It didn't look interesting. So I added some colors as I was going, which I probably don't recommend doing. I'm not sure it was really worth it. I do see a few little blobs here and there, which I might be able to get rid of. That one looks like a big piece of something. Okay, I just want it to level out, which I think it will level out, but it actually looks really pretty, and I can't wait to show it to you when it's dry. Yay! All right, it's still wet, but I just wanted to show you some of the cool places. Looks really, really neat. So when it dries, and I'll varnish it and I can show you again.